Good afternoon. I have the sun just beating on my back right now with the sound of the ocean in the background. This is the time of year that you start to feel like, okay, the literal light at the end of the
sun is shining.
Tyler, you could just do the singing for today.
This could be the Barry White in the background.
I love it.
Feel it. Here comes the sun.
Mark Wagner here. Welcome to DentalBytes. I've got Tyler McClendon here with me as well. And
hola.
We have a wonderful guest today. Wonderful guest.
So excited.
Dr. Lovedeep Randhawa. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm a little jealous though, because I'm sitting indoors and I'm still working. I have to see patients till almost 6 o'clock, and you guys are already downtown Vancouver enjoying the sun and the views. So yeah, just a little bit jealous. But other than that, I'm doing great.
Oh yeah. Well, like you text or send an email, and I felt a little bad, to be honest. Like I was heading across the Burrard Street Bridge into Vancouver. Next time we'll have you in studio, but the whole industry depends on you being chairside, right? Is that so?
You have a lot of people depending on you.
Yeah.
But I will say I do feel bad as well. Like we're sitting here 14 stories up here overlooking English Bay in Vancouver, downtown Vancouver. I think it's about 25 degrees outside.
It is. I can feel it on my back.
Not to rub it in.
Way to rub it in.
Not to
yes,
rub it
you
in.
are rubbing it in.
Yeah. Are we doing a good job of that? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Good,
You guys are
good,
really
good.
doing a very good job.
But you're doing some great traveling right now for all your great speaking engagements. What's been your favorite spot so far? Where have you been?
Oh, I have been everywhere in Vancouver, which of course I love. And then I was in Alberta, Edmonton and Calgary. Always love going there. Wonderful people, beautiful province, beautiful cities. So that was a really, really good weekend that I was there. I've been to LA a few times. I try to stay on West Coast with the time zone and, just having practice and young kids. It's not easy. And, when you're my age, your body starts to feel it. So I'm trying to maintain West Coast, but still I'm traveling everywhere. I'm heading to Phoenix and Vegas in a couple of weeks. I am in Chicago in 2 weeks doing comprehensive dentistry with Invisalign 2-day workshops. So yes, it's all over North America, but mostly, if I can, I stay within Canada.
That's amazing. So is it mostly with the folks that Align? Is that sort of what's kind of taking you right now? Is it mostly Invisalign stuff, orthodontic stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, mostly with the line technologies, the Invisalign and restorative. So ortho-restorative dentistry is mostly where I am teaching. So I do two main courses. One is Invisalign treatment planning, and that is mostly focused on Invisalign treatment planning. And it is a full day, 8-hour lecture. We usually do one in one city and then fly to the next one and get that done and then back home. Ready to do mommy duties for Sunday, and then Monday start dentist duties again. And then the other workshop that I do, or lectures that I do mostly, is comprehensive dentistry with Invisalign. And
Cool.
That's the one I'm heading to Chicago, and then it's coming to Vancouver. So June 13 and 14, we're doing comprehensive dentistry with Invisalign in Vancouver. So I'm very excited about that.
That's fun.
And this workshop is mainly about how you can not only treatment plan cases, but how do you set up for minimally invasive, comprehensive dentistry? It's not only as a dentist, us knowing how to do it, it's also how do we convey that long-term good health vision that we have in our mind for our patient to the patients, and then how to treat and plan it and how to execute it. And that's mainly what this course is about.
A little reverse, what is your favorite part of doing orthodontics in practice? And obviously you're passionate about it. You're out teaching about it. Why is it orthodontics? Is it the occlusion? What kind of sparks your fancy with doing those cases in practice?
So the funny thing is, I always said I'm never going to do orthodontics. And the one thing I've learned is never say never in life. I remember when I started associating, and my principal dentist said, Lovedeep, you need to start getting into ortho. And I go, no, I'm so busy with everything else. There's so much to do in general dentistry. I'm never going to do orthodontics. But as you get older and experienced, and you really start to see, to provide good general dentistry, really good general dentistry, I needed to provide orthodontics as well. Because think about it, like, an example, if you're lifting up a box, but you're lifting it up with a bad posture, you're going to wreck your back, right? And then if you improve your posture and lift this heavy box, you can lift the box and not damage your body.
Yeah.
Right? So a filling that we do in a patient's mouth, a crown that we do in this patient's mouth, if the tooth is in a bad posture to begin with, then everything that we do on it, how much ever we try to manipulate it and say, okay, I'm going to camouflage the basic issue, but if the root issue is not fixed, the tooth is still getting loaded in not a very atraumatic position, right? So anything you do, the long-term prognosis is still guarded because the main issue is still there. And believe it or not, I was talking to a parent. She brought in 3 of her kids, and all 3 are going to need Invisalign or orthodontic treatment. And she's like, why is this happening? And I said, you know what, we used to say 75% of the world's population has malocclusion. Malocclusion means teeth not being in the right posture. But I said, I think we should change it. It's almost getting to over 90%.
Wow.
Because as you see, things are changing. My great-grandparents never had their wisdom teeth taken out. Mm-hmm. My parents didn't have them taken out. I had to get them taken out. My kids, my sisters, everybody. Because what it is lifestyle's changing.
Sure.
Our food is changing. Our diet is so much more refined, so much more softer. We don't really work that much to chew our food anymore. Our lifestyle is different. And so with that comes changes in our body as well.
We're not hunting for anything anymore, right?
Exactly.
Well, so I have a question about the wisdom teeth, though. Like, I never had my wisdom teeth taken out, but my wife did. So, like, am I a caveman? Like, is that what's happening to me?
A little bit, Ty.
Is it?
You are. Yeah.
Do I come from the Neanderthal age? Is that how that works? But for real,
it's not a slight. Yeah.
So when do we take wisdom teeth out?
Yeah,
if the wisdom teeth are going to be causing a problem, or they are going to be complicating either your gum health or your tooth health or your jaw health, that's when we really take it out. Or they're in the way and we want to move teeth so that we can get better intercuspation or better bite of your teeth, then we want to take wisdom teeth out. If you have wide enough jaw, if the teeth are all aligned in and your wisdom teeth are in proper occlusion in the mouth, and you can brush and floss and maintain the gum health, there is no harm in keeping wisdom teeth in the mouth. Or if they're impacted and they're so far deep into your jawbone that taking them out is a complex surgery, but leaving them in and monitoring them with images like PANs or X-rays every few years, then leave them alone, right? So it's basically, if they're not causing a problem and in future they're not going to cause a problem, we leave the wisdom teeth alone. So maybe yours are in a good position and maybe you're keeping them really good and healthy.
I hope so, yeah. I think that I know that for the longest time, I remember I'd go through floss really fast because I would just I'd have sharp teeth and I'd always break my floss. But and remember asking my dentist, I'm like, what's going on? With yeah, Tyler, you've got 32 teeth in your mouth. You've probably got some crowded teeth. And I could, so I've done Invisalign, in the past where it's like, okay, well, what's causing this? Why are my teeth rotating? And I think, is it because I have so many teeth in my mouth? Is it crowded? So
it's a size issue, right? So your jawbone needs to be wide enough to fit your teeth in, right? So let's just say if there is enough space, everybody is lining up properly, right? And if we squeeze in a lot of people in a smaller space, it's going to get crowded, right? So like everything lined up and now it's smaller space, same fingers, they're going to get crowded up, right? Mm-hmm. So literally it is the circumference of your jaw. If your jaw is wide enough and it can accommodate all the teeth, you're not going to get crowding. If the jaw is not wide enough, you're going to get crowding. So that's one thing. The other thing is the upper and the lower jaw needs to fit into each other, right? Mm-hmm. So think about the lower jaw as a box and the upper jaw as a lid. But in this case, usually we open up the lid, but in this case, your lid is fixed because your upper jaw is fixed in the mouth. It's the lower jaw that opens and closes, right? So you have to have that passiveness where your lower jaw can fit inside your upper jaw without the teeth really rubbing into each other or hitting each other. We call it restricted envelope of movement, where every time if your teeth are so tight together, if your upper jaw is not wide enough or your lower jaw is too big, that the teeth rub against each other when you open and close. not only it causes problem by chipping of your teeth and gum recession and other problems, it can also cause some jaw issues as well. So really, it could be a combination of any of those, tooth size discrepancy. So really, best thing is to get a good, intraoral scan done, put some occlusogram there, take a look at everything, run the outcome simulator, see where the teeth is supposed to be. And I think that's the best way of diagnosing and treatment planning. So it could be that you had some relapse after you did Invisalign. Maybe you did your retainers.
I was non-compliant. I will admit that. I did do it twice because I owned it. I said, okay, that's fine. I wasn't super compliant with my retainer, so let's just do it again. We'll do some refining. The second time was a charm, and I had a little bit of veneer work done. So, and that sort of brings me to my next question: is that so? When I did some veneer work, the first thing we did was some Invisalign to get everything in the right position, and then we tried to do. My dentist and I worked out a treatment plan where we did some minimally invasive veneers. So, tell us a little bit about that process. Like, so if a patient comes to you and they say, I think I want veneers, I kind of want that nice sort of like natural, beautiful smile. Like, what's the jumping in point for you?
So for me, the main reason is, first of all, why, right? Like there's a reason behind it. Either it is that they just want a specific shape they don't like the shape of their teeth, and they don't like the color of their teeth, right? Or sometimes it's just that I just don't like my smile. I want nicer, wider, or, more aligned teeth. So first is listen to the patient. Why does patient want something? What is their chief concern? And then it is, in my mind, I'm going, okay, can I meet those expectations? Actually, meeting is sometimes easier. Can I exceed those expectations? And how am I going to plan this case? In my office, everything starts with an intraoral scan. I have spent first 15 years of my career really hunched over with a mouth mirror, looking in the patient's mouths, and with the tongue in the way, cheek in the way, everything in the way, still trying to get as much information as possible. But now I work smarter, and every patient gets scanned. So I have Lumina scanner, I have Itero 5D Plus scanners in my practice. My practice is a small practice in Surrey, 4 chairs, and we have 3 scanners, 2 5D Plus and 1 Lumina, and they're constantly.
Wow.
That's a lot of technology for 4 rooms.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
It's so much fun. And when I walk into the room to do an exam or a consultation, my staff's already done an intraoral scan. They've already taken some smile pictures and videos of my patient. And then, they have taken some x-rays. So now I have all my information. After I finish the exam, I set the patient up. And now we're kind of face to face looking at each other and going through the scan, because I want to co-discover what really the patient wants and kind of go back to the root of the problem. What you want to fix right now, that is a symptom that you came from. But I want to know what caused it so that I can diagnose what this condition is, right? And then once I have that established with the patient, then we start to go over options. And a lot of times, Tyler, you said, a lot of times patients just come and say, I need veneers. But when you look at the scan, the patient's teeth are really not in the right position. So if they come in for veneers because their teeth are chipped, if your teeth that are made up of such strong enamel, that takes me a little like diamond bit on my drill that runs at 200,000 RPM to cut that enamel. If that enamel is lost in your mouth, anything that I put, and I could talk to James or David, I know at Ocean Ceramic, and they're going to say the same thing. Lovedeep, we don't have anything stronger than enamel. Right? They can make me beautiful veneers, but I have to give them a good bite to make them in, right?
Yeah.
So really it comes down to is, okay, your natural teeth didn't stand the test of time because of the posture of the teeth, because of the way that your teeth come together. When I do veneers, the prognosis is going to be, guarded. And so to do that, let's just move the teeth in the right position first and then do the veneers. But the technology is so beautiful right now that we can be really transparent with our patients and get informed consents right on the chair, because when I discuss this with my patients on my Itero scanner, I have three pictures right away. One is the initial smile with their teeth the way they are in the patient's mouth. The second picture next to them is what their smile would look like when the teeth are moved into the right position. And the third picture next to it is if I move your teeth in the atraumatic position and I do veneers, and they can tell me how many they want to do, and we can change that selection right there on the scanner, and they can compare their smile. Right? Yeah. And because you've already educated them about the malocclusion, they kind of know that going from picture 1 to picture 3, they have to go through picture 2. And I say, first, I'm going to change the position of your teeth. with Invisalign, and then I'm going to change the shape and size and color of your teeth with veneers or bonding, whatever they need. Other beautiful feature now that we have is, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to speak about it, but
one of these secrets.
So,
we can actually,
spoiler alert.
I know. So you take a little video with your phone. So we have an app on our phone that is Invisalign Practice app. And with that, we take the wide smile picture of the patient for in-face visualization of the outcome. But we can also record a 10-second video of the patient while they're talking.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Right?
I was going to talk about that, Dr. Randhawa. So I would have.
Oh, you were?
I was gonna guess. So I'll take the bullet if we get in trouble for revealing this information.
Okay, perfect.
I was gonna say there's this really cool video app where you can put their smile. You can actually record them talking and then import the
video.
In, right?
It's super impactful. The video. A little bit. We're gonna reverse a little bit here. You know, where did you start with all you? You're so knowledgeable. What are some key things? Courses? Was it Kois? Was it Spear? What do you attribute to sort of your base of knowledge, and then like where do you draw your confidence from?
I guess what inspired you?
What inspired you? Like what key things? Like you're able to handle such cool cases in practice. What are you leveraging to do that?
So when I was growing up, my dad always told me, it doesn't matter what you do, just be the best in what you do. Just be confident, be best, and learn and learn and learn. And knowledge is the biggest strength you're going to have. Anything else can be taken away from you, stolen from you, but knowledge can't. And for me, I think I always kind of thought that is the basis of what I do. Whatever I want to do, I want to make sure that I get as much knowledge about it as possible, and then be the best at it as possible. And if there's a case that I can't handle, obviously I'm going to move it to better hands, which might be a specialist. So after finishing, after grade 12, I actually got accepted into dental school when I was in India. I am born and brought up in India, and I finished my dental school and I did residency for a year, and then I moved to Canada and I went to UBC and did my dentistry again. The more you learn, more you realize how much you don't know.
Yeah,
and that
true.
Journey of 2 dental schools kind of showed me, oh my God, it's not just 32 teeth and jaw and muscles. There is so much to it. And the other thing is, I like to explain things to my patients. I want to always make sure that my patient fully understands what's going on, what caused the issue in their mouth, how I'm going to fix it, like propose the options, and then how can we prevent it from happening again. Those are my main goals when I'm talking to my patients. And so to do all that, I wanted to learn. And so I finished entire Spear curriculum. I am doing following fellowship with AGD. I am a fellow of AACA as well, the clear aligner residency I've done there. And then I'm doing Kois right now. But my Invisalign journey actually started with Dr. Geller. So I had heard of Dr. David.
The Gellerites.
Gellerites, yes.
That's right, yes. Familiar, yes.
Yeah, so I had heard about him, and I knew how charismatic and caring and
what a great
person.
Speaker.
Yeah, he's great.
He is. Oh my God. Like it's just, it's, I have been listening to him for almost a decade now, and I can still listen to him anytime, And so I went to Calgary actually to attend his reengage in 2017. And I had done maybe 2 Invisalign cases by then. And that too was just because my initial principal dentist had kind of said, Lovedeep, you need to do some kind of ortho. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll try. Once I attended his course, that's when it really opened my eyes to say, oh my God, like this is really a good service that I can do. All my cases that I was struggling, comprehensive cases, like worrying how am I going to keep these results stable and how, I can prolong the long-term prognosis or improve it. The basis of it is Invisalign. And then just taking more courses on that. And then I started treating mixed dentition and teens as well. And Dr. Stephen Schalk is another. Yes, he's another amazing speaker, a Gallerite
Another amazing, exactly. He's traveled the world too, Schalk. He's got a really interesting story, but yeah.
Very interesting story. And so, really gathering that information and saying, okay, I knew how to do general dentistry. Now I wanted to make sure my results were more solid. And now going back to Invisalign and doing restorative made it better. Now, what if we we prevent those problems from happening altogether, which means you diagnose them as early as possible. May it be mixed dentition, which are kids that have baby teeth as well as adult teeth, or maybe as teens as the adult teeth are coming in. If we catch it at that time, we can prevent a whole host of problems that can happen with malocclusion, right? And so it's basically the more you learn, the more there is to learn. And, lifelong learner, basically, I take any local CE that's available. I learn, just working with Align, doing all this research is teaching me a lot about not only doing orthorestorative cases in general, or Invisalign in general, but also in diagnostics, the AI that we are using right now in diagnostics, right? So
what are you using?
Really cool.
Can I ask what software are you using for that?
Your diagnostic? Right now, again, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this.
Oh, come on. Yeah. We won't tell anybody.
You're on our show. We'll take the bullet for you.
Yeah. It's us. It's on us. Yeah.
So there's a lot coming through the pipeline through Align. Just wait and see, and we are going to be doing a lot. You already know that now with Itero scans, we can already look at occlusal mapping. We can already look at time lapse where any shifting in tooth or gum that we normally can't catch with pictures or just with eye and a clinical exam. We could do that. We also have something called NIRI, which is non-ionizing infrared imaging, which you can get. Right? Yeah, you can see into proximal cavities, which it's so funny because all these years, and I go back, even when I'm lecturing, I say that, I remember taking a pen and drawing on the tray liner, just the white tray liner, and explaining to the patient, this is what it is, and this is how your cusp is hitting, and this is where the problem is, or pointing onto the bite wings and saying that's where the cavity is. And now I'm thinking, really, were they really actually seeing what I was saying? Like, was I even, I'm not even such a good drawing person. Like, really, my art isn't even so good. Poor patients, they were just being nice and saying, okay, Dr. Randhawa, yes, let's do this. But now really seeing them so engaged, looking at the scan and looking at that NIRI and saying, oh, I see that cavity. Yes, I do see that white image, right? And especially when it comes to kids. It's so funny. The kids look forward to catching the next lesion on the scanner before I can point out.
You've got little assistants. That's great.
So we like so I'm as we know, I'm a consultant for Medline Sinclair. So and we're huge fans of the Itero and the whole Align team. And of course the Lumina has been a huge hit with my customers. So I've been thrilled to sell it to them. I just want to go back to the comprehensive and the restorative aspect of things. So have you been doing restorative with the Element prior to this? Or is restorative sort of, is it, because I'm kind of new to working with Align and Itero. Is restorative new just to Lumina, or has it been part of their basket of goods for a while?
So actually, the Itero scanner, before it got the name Itero, it was actually candid. So it was actually a restorative scanner.
Right.
So the roots of Itero are restorative. So it came from that background, and Align bought it, I think, I don't want to misspeak, but I think maybe 15, 16 years ago. And they named it Itero, basically. Itero Element, it was Element. First it was HD 2.9 and some other versions. Then it became Element, and then Element 2, 3, and now we are at Lumina. But the difference is, like, if we go to HD 2.9, that was an Itero scanner that I used, and you had to press a foot pedal to catch a scan.
That's right. I remember that.
Right? Yeah. So it was a digital impression machine. So all it did at that time was catch digital impressions. You can use it for restorative, or you could use it for orthodontics or as study models, right? And then as the new versions came up, then we started to, we can mark the margins now on our restorative, right? We can actually have a heat map saying you didn't do enough reduction for the material that you chose to restore this tooth with. Like if it's Emax or zirconia, you're going to have a very thin material on the crown here. So, adjust your occlusion. Those things started to come in as we advanced with Itero scanners. Now, Lumina is a totally different technology. So after 5D plus, the 5D Plus scanner has the same software as Lumina, so it can interchange and work. But the wand of Lumina is totally different. The first thing that I like it is so light. Like I have carpal tunnel, I have thoracic outlet syndrome. So for me to lift anything with the hand, and you're working all the time in the patient's mouth, when you get to use something lighter and more ergonomic, it's a life changer, right? Like for you, the day just became a lot more easier. So not only that it is lighter and smaller, it's a lot faster because now the cameras, the position of the cameras and the angle of the cameras on Lumina is such that you can be further away from the tooth and you can still capture the tooth. So in tiny mouths, especially in patients that have very high arch palates, like very narrow mouths, initially you had to take the scanner close enough to capture the roof of the mouth, the palate. Now you can be far enough and you can capture that. Even patients, edentulous patients, implant patients, the scans with Lumina being a different technology, multi-direct technology we call it, the zone that's coming in to capture is not just a beam falling down on that area where you're scanning. It's actually going everywhere. It's different directions. So that's one of the beauty of Lumina. The other thing is that they have streamlined the workflow. So when I was using Element 2 or 5D and stuff, when you prep the tooth, and let's just say you're doing 6 veneers, every single veneer prep had to be scanned separately, prep by prep in high definition, right? Now you just take Lumina and you go single sweep, single pass, and you've captured all of them together in high definition. So really it streamlined the workflow a lot, and it makes things a lot more easier. And so that's the beauty of Lumina, and it's a forward-facing technology. Like I don't see anything like that in the market, and I think like it's just the next few years as it improves even more and more, it's very, very interesting time to see.
It is,
and
isn't
so
it? Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. And the crispness of the image as well. How often are we sending cases to the lab and actually giving our lab what they really need? Like we really blindfold our labs, and we are expecting our labs to deliver really good results back to us. If we are not evaluating our scans and we don't have clear margins, if we're not capturing high definition images of our preps, if we're not sending our lab the x-rays or the pictures, good pictures, not only before you prep the tooth, but also of the prepped tooth, because a lot of times there are these intrinsic staining on these teeth. And then if it's two centrals and one is stained than the other, if the lab doesn't know, you don't send them those pictures, how do they know what opaquer to use or how to camouflage that color and give you a product that is going to look so amazing in the mouth, right?
Don't you just like on the RX just put do your best?
I know, make it work.
Make it perfect.
Yeah. you can talk to James and Artural, and you'll find out they know I'm never going to say make it work. If there is something, they will say, Dr. Randhawa, I was like, no, patient's coming back. When this is we don't compromise, and Ocean doesn't compromise. Ocean Ceramics doesn't compromise.
They're the first ones to get on a phone and make sure that everybody's in the loop for sure.
Exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit more about minimally invasive veneers? Because I've heard this term for many years, and I've heard both sides of the argument whether it can be done or not. Like, what's your experience of minimally invasive veneers?
So one thing that I want to clarify, and a lot of times patients think minimally invasive veneers means that we won't be grinding their tooth at all. And that's not true. For the lab to know where the end point would be, where the veneer would end, between the gum and the bone and the tooth, like there has to be an end point, right? So we have to mark that, like there has to be some definition. So always we're going to make some margin, may it be really feather edge or really knife edge or thin, whatever you want to call it. So there's going to be definitely some removal of tooth structure. The other thing, veneer is not always just a veneer. It depends on a lot of things. Where are your interdental papilla between the teeth? How much of the gaps you're trying to close. And that's the beauty when you do Invisalign first, because I always plan the ultimate end result, like what the teeth should look like after the veneers. Once we know that, now we know that we need to move those teeth into those restorations. And so really we try to work out as much as possible so that for example, patient has a lot of spacing on upper front teeth. and patient wants veneers. Now with Invisalign, I will close the gaps as much as I need, but keep them open enough so I don't have to cut any tooth other than making the margin when I'm going on to the sides of the teeth, right? Now, if I didn't know that beforehand, I would have done Invisalign and closed the gaps and then do veneers afterwards. If you plan it afterwards, now you're actually trimming more tooth structure. So minimally invasive dentistry, knowing where your restorative end result is and working backwards really helps us be minimally invasive. But minimally invasive does not mean that you will not be taking out any tooth structure. So just margins. If it's stained tooth, obviously we have to cut back some of that stained area. Now, the beauty again about doing Invisalign first is, let's just say this tooth is really stained. Rather than moving that tooth into the right position and then cutting back a lot on the buccal side, you could actually position it so that the tooth is a little bit more where the angulation of the crown is such that you can only do additive and you can stay within an enamel, right? So that's the beauty of doing Invisalign first. So with that, you can really become as minimally invasive as possible. But I still believe that, I sometimes patients are misled by saying there will be no reduction. We won't touch no prep veneers. There's nothing called no prep veneers. There's still going to be some prep.
And when you say additive, you could probably do something like BioClear or something to maybe, like you say, to do more of an additive treatment instead of a reductive one, right?
Exactly. And that's what it is. When we are working on our ClinChecks, that is the Invisalign planning for these cases, we almost get a tooth reduction analysis, which is kind of like a heat map. And so when we toggle our restorative on and we are planning these cases, it really shows us if you're moving the tooth here, you're going to have this many 0.2 millimeter reduction here, 0.3 millimeter addition here. And if you don't like it, you can move it back so that you have addition everywhere. And then you check the occlusion, see does this occlusion work? Right? So that is the beauty about planning this case together. And the 3D tools that we have now in Invisalign Smile Architect planning is amazing. You have full control over it, right? And as I had said before, again, it depends upon where are your gingival levels, how much spacing do you have, how much crowding do you have, what is the color of the tooth, and then that's what really dictates how much reduction you need to do. And if you're doing Invisalign before, you can mitigate a lot of those factors as well.
Awesome. Sure. So aside from all this crazy dentistry stuff, this travel, what are you doing to make sure that you yourself, you're not burning out? Like is that something that you think about? Like,
it's a good question because it can sneak up on you, right?
Do you ever get to a point where you're like, okay, I need to, consider myself here?
Take a break.
What things?
Because you're everywhere.
Yeah.
You're blowing up. I see your name on a lot of stuff. Like, congratulations, you're like killing it.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when you're all over the place like that, like, is it? Do you sometimes go, oh my goodness, maybe I just need to take a breather for a minute, or you just pedal to the metal? The
burnout thing's a real thing. Like, I've talked to tons of folks. Like Dr. Kyle Stanley's a big, he's a big. This is his thing, So, what key things are you doing to just make sure that you're taking care of yourself?
I think at this point, over the last almost year and a half, I think I'm just starting to come to a realization that I can also get tired. I was almost a person that doesn't get tired, always go. And, I just can't sit still without doing anything. And for me, that was normal life. I didn't realize that as a human being, it's okay to sit down for an hour on the couch, enjoy a cup of tea or a glass of wine or watch Netflix. You could do that and that's fine. And you could do that by yourself, because I think it's important now that I'm realizing it's important for me to spend time with myself. And that's what I was not doing. It was always about, if we're going to watch something, let's watch something with the kids. And that's our family time after dinner, snuggled up on the couch, and we're going to watch a movie out together or some documentary together. And it was never about me, because when I looked at happiness, it was about, is everything around me okay and taken care of? If my practice is doing well, I'm successful, it means I'm happy. If my family, my kids are taken care of, my husband is taken care of and happy, and he's taking care of me and I'm happy, it means we're all happy, and that's success, and that's what we're supposed to do. It's only when I started to hit my 40s and started to realize I'm getting a little tired, or sometimes I'm like, wait a second, what was I saying? Or, things like that. And I'm going, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on? And So I talked to my doctor. I said, I think I'm getting like some memory issues and I'm getting tired. And she looks at me and she goes, Lovedeep, no, you've just been going like an energizer bunny, and it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you've just been going, and you just need to really accept that you're a human being and take a break. So the good thing is that I've realized it, because realization is important. If you don't realize it, you're not going to do anything to fix it. Now, second question is, have I done something to fix it? Work in progress.
Yeah.
I think it's always going to be that way, though, right?
Right?
It's hard because your work is obviously your passion, right? So it's hard to just put it down for a sec. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. Like sometimes I feel if my job was boring, I could clock out and I could say at 6:00, office closed, I'm done, charts are done, I'm going to go home. This job is so much fun, and teaching is so much fun. Going and getting to know these amazing humans that are healthcare providers, that are balancing everything as well. I actually don't like the word balancing, that are amazing at doing everything, and that's where it's just like, connecting with them and understanding I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who's doing all this and feeling like this, talking to other dentists, they're in the same situation. So that's good. Just when I get to travel now for work, I feel after I've done the lecture and I'm in the hotel room, okay, I can now watch Netflix and I can just relax because I don't have to go on now till tomorrow morning. And really that's giving me those couple of hours for myself. And sometimes I feel guilty because, usually if I would go on CE, I would take family with me, but I can't do that because I'm working and it's not easy. And so that's really giving me a little bit of me time. And I'm starting to understand, I have limitations as well as a human. But really with this job as a dentist, you are a very unique personality. You're a very microscopic, you have a very microscopic life. You live in micromillimeters. Everything has to be almost controlled. And where I hate to use the word perfect, but everything almost has to be perfect and go according to plan. And when it doesn't, you need to know how to step in. Like today, I had a meeting before you guys, and I had just started the meeting, and the staff runs in and says, Dr. Randhawa, there's a medical emergency. A patient had just walked into the office and fainted right in the meeting room.
Oh my goodness.
No kidding.
So yes, so I had to go and, obviously pay attention to that and get that attended to and make sure everybody was safe and, our patient was safe as well. And, I had to cancel my other meeting while I was on it. And that's why I had emailed to you as well, because I was kind of running behind and I had to compose myself as well. Medical emergency is never an easy thing to deal with, right?
No.
But just really it is that we are those kind of personalities. And so these brains, you just can't turn it off, but you need to give yourself permission to say it's okay. You can't control everything, and you just need to kind of take a step back sometimes. And that's what I'm trying to do. Am I successful at it? No.
What do you do for fun? What's your fun?
Oh my God, you're going to think I'm a boring person.
No. Hey, you're talking to like King Nerd here, so don't worry about it.
If I get a chance, I'm researching. Oh my God, this is happening. I can do this. What's out there? It's just like. So I do read a lot. I look up things a lot. Now it's like it's not in books; it's on the internet. So I say looking up things. Like before, I would say I read a lot. That's what I do a lot. And if I'm ever stressed out, I'm a self-proclaimed OCD. I really think I have OCD, but nobody wants to.
Me too.
Yeah, we all do.
Me too. Yes.
So I'm organizing. Like if I have time at home, I'm just organizing, and everybody goes, okay, today something's going on. Somebody going to get hurt because mom thinks must be stressed because she's cleaning. Even at the office, sometimes they go, Dr. Randhawa, stop putting things away because we won't find them afterwards. But for me, it's like organizing, I'm a very minimalistic person, getting my life in order all the time, like constantly, getting my house in order, getting the hair, putting in better workflow so that the things go more smoother at home. Luckily, with where I am in my practice, I don't have to be here 5 days a week. to really do what I want to do. And, there are good workflows and systems in place that I can be in office at some weeks only twice a week and some weeks 3 to 4 times a week. And I can take that time and really invest in being with my kids, because this is that age. Yeah, so I'm just trying to stay, as I'm trying to stay relevant in dentistry, relevant as a human being in the community. I'm trying to stay relevant in my kids' lives, basically. I think it is a little bit of uncertain times for everybody in the world right now. Definitely. And certainly in dentistry as well. Last year, with all this CDCP and everything coming in, the dentists were kind of trying to figure out, how do we navigate all this? So I think it's almost been a little bit of an uncertain almost year for us and our profession. And I really always say, take a deep breath and just, everything's going to be okay. Invest in yourself. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. If you invest in yourself and you're confident and comfortable doing the care, providing the care that you are to your patients are going to see that. You are going to retain these patients and you're going to get referrals from these patients. So business will grow. It's okay if 1 month you didn't meet your financial goal or something, but you're going to be fine. Just give yourself a break, invest in yourself, and really, today, the era that we are in, digital technology is really the way to go. Like, I'm not saying it just because I speak for Align. I'm just saying it from personal experience. You want to make your, not only your life easier, but you also want to differentiate yourself from everybody else. And if it's not differentiation, you say, well, I already have scanners, everybody else is using it too. And then I say, okay, well, you know that this is happening. You know that technology is coming, AI is coming. Rather than standing on the sidelines and seeing this happen just because we are on uncertain times, it's going to be a harder jump later on to get on board. So get on board, start learning about it, seeing where you can use it in your practice to make your, better experience for your patients, make your life easier, and, to stay relevant in the field. And this is really, it might seem that it is slower times as uncertain times, but to me and my practice, we have really taken this time and reinvested in ourselves. And, we're coming up with newer systems and newer technologies that we can integrate into our office. So it's all amazing time. Just, invest in yourself and stay happy and healthy. That's all I can say.
I love it.
And so for your next few speaking engagements, you're going to be talking about technology and increasing a case acceptance with the Itero, et cetera. Like, is there any other sort of tags you want to add to that?
Yeah. So, for me, always, I feel like my Itero scanners and my whole practice runs on Align Digital platform. Like, that is basically my goal. And Tyler, you were there when I did the lecture for Sinclair as well, right? Like, you saw how,
I was taking notes. I was trying to make sure I can say everything you're saying the same way. Like, here's all the features and benefits of the new Lumina. So it's been great. Like, I think I've sold 2 or 3 in the last 2 months. So it's been Perfect. Going like gangbusters. So I'm very happy that we have your support.
Exactly. And it's not only just the Itero scanner, it's also that I believe nothing can replace your lab, but sometimes you have to offer services for convenience in patients, and sometimes that's the only option. So I do mill single unit crowns in my office. I use Glidewell, which is based on Itero. Mm-hmm. There's direct connectivity. And then I have 3D printers. Sometimes it's so fast, easy to quickly print a model and do an SX retainer because you need to get something done same day for your patient, right? So you really, ADP, Align Digital Platform, supports my team from the minute the patient comes in, from record collection to all the way, in office milling, maybe 3D printing, communication with my lab, case setups with my lab, getting them all the information that they need to insurance information, getting predeterminations with insurances, communicating with other dentists and specialists. It is amazing. Itero scan reports that my patients can now just scan quickly from the scanner and take all that consent and treatment plan home is also amazing. So really, I'm super excited not only about the digital technology aspect, and not only that I teach that, but main thing that now in Vancouver that's coming up is comprehensive dentistry with Invisalign, where me as well as Corey Anlick and some other speakers, it's usually 4 speakers each workshop for 2 days, and we go like 8 hours or so straight for 2 days. And that's where we're going to be talking about everything: case acceptance, case presentation, planning comprehensive cases, like how we were talking about minimally invasive, Invisalign Smile Architect. I do the workshops hands-on training for Invisalign Smile Architect as well. So we'll be covering all that, and that's June 13th and 14th.
Amazing.
If they're
Cool.
dentists interested, they can talk to their territory managers, either the Itero managers or their Align territory managers, Invisalign ones, and book for that course.
Great.
But yeah, I cover basically anything that comes to GP practice that's Align based. I speak on all of them.
Lovely. Yeah. And I get to work with lovely gentlemen like Mark Stevens and Adrian, and I know Erica Gilmore, and a few
a great team.
Few
They've got a
Invisalign
great
reps.
team. Yeah.
We've got a pretty cool team. It's nice to be part of Medline Sinclair and really sort of co-working with everyone at Align. It's been a really cool relationship between the two companies, and I'm pumped. I've been a CAD CAM digital guy for years, and I'm really excited to see what you're going to do next, and what great things are gonna come out of these speaking engagements. So very excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tyler and Mark. You guys go and enjoy the beautiful view. And
I'm frying already here.
Mark wants to get surfing. Sorry, we got to go, Lovedeep. We apologize.
And we'll have you in the studio next time.
Sure.
It'll be way better. It's more fun.
Looking
It was
forward
so
to it.
great to see you.
Same here. I always enjoy chatting with you guys. It was awesome. Thanks.
For sure.
Awesome. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. We'll
You
see you at the
too.
next one.
Okay, see you.